I'm going to fill in some like putty stuff I've got, which is supposed to be for metal, into the edges where these like bolts will go in, because as the bolts are pushing up, it is possible if they're screwed in too much, you're going to push up and push these plates apart. And this is what I'm going to be using. Halford's got this from, and it does mention aluminium on the back. So, mind you, I have used epoxy type putty before and I found it absolutely useless. Not this stuff, some other stuff, but some like sandpaper, wet and dry paper, to try and just get under the edges a bit. And then I'm going to try and press some of this in. I'm going to be using these gloves and possibly a flat bladed screwdriver, probably a wider one than this actually, to press it into the edges. Really, I should have done this before sticking it together with the other stuff, and I don't want to try to separate them. I think it would separate. I'm just folding this glass paper in half. The thing with glass paper, it can leave bits of material behind, so I'm just getting it in between the edges just to roughen that up a little bit. Job of a bit. This other side. Basically, I'm going to go with the wet and dry paper as well. Try to see where that is. Blowing it out. Wet and dry, just going to do the same. Won't bother wetting it. Folding it in half. Well, not in half, but folding it a bit. So I can do both insides at once. If I can get that in the gap. Good on that side, but just probably put some like along here. I'm not sure, because I don't think you get all that much. Might put some along the two like wider sides as well. I'm going to go around doing that a bit better, I think, trying to clean out any bits a little bit and roughen up the surfaces. So I've got this towel, because the recommended damp cloth anyway, to wipe down any excess. With these screwdrivers, push it in and mix it up. I have to make sure I'm not getting in the way of the camera when I'm doing this. I would strongly recommend some gloves. I hope I can use these gloves. Get it open. Keep the top. Just put that over there. Let's have a look. See what we get. Some instructions. This is supposed to almost have metal in, apparently. Oh, that's just a piece of silver paper or something on there. And like a plastic thing around the outside. Now before I do this, I'm going to get these instructions out and have a quick read. Okay, and I'll come back. So it's saying 10 minutes basically to harden, and then like totally cure in about an hour. So let me get that end off. There should be two colours here, I imagine, because you have to mix the two. No, could have done with a knife. to cut a slice of this off, so we've got a dark bit inside the grey bit there. Where's this edge of this plastic? Is that it? It's hard to tell whether there's still plastic on there actually. No, I don't think there is. Now, one problem with this as well is when you're cutting it, it's almost like it's going to mix the two bits together. I'm going to estimate how much I want for this area, give or take a bit. But we don't need a lot. Get this other glove on. I think it's reasonably safe so long as you don't eat it or you're not allergic to such things. It's quite firm actually. So I'm going to start kneading this. This is where gloves can be a nuisance actually. Now I'm going to take my gloves off because I am not allergic to such things, but be careful if you are, because I can just work a lot better and quicker with gloves off, mixing that up quite a lot. Ten round pinching bits, a bit like plasticine, that's what I was trying to think of, a bit like plasticine. Okay, that's reasonably well mixed I think. Now let's see how much. I was pushing that cork off a bit there. This stuff is supposed to be reinforced with steel and I'm trying to press it quite. Slide that over. This cork has been wet a bit, so that's why it's bulging a bit. I'm hoping it will dry out. I've got enough here to put some into here, and I'm trying to press this quite well between these gaps. It seems to be going a lot further than what I expected it to. Let's go around the other side. So even with that smallish bit there, there seems to be a wider gap this actually. Well, that is a certainly gap. That gap has almost come off there. But I'm going to put this into that gap anyway. Pressing that down into the gap. So I'm trying to put it where the balls are going to go in, because that's where the most enforced pressure is going to be pushed. And to be honest with you, I think this is already starting to harden up a bit. So it's not too easy to get in. I would have rather had something a bit more like epoxy, well, like resin in a way that you could pour in. So that seems to be a little bit better. There's this towel, working quite quick here. Again, it's pulling on this cork. Damned. So I might have to take this cork off and redo it. Get on the other side quick, even if that other side isn't perfect at least. See, this cork is problematic actually, having this cork on here. And this is certainly almost like harder to do. Well, that's not too bad. Looks reasonably neat. Now let's go back over this one. There's that screwdriver at. So just using the edge of the screwdriver to sort of scrape any excess of the edge. Make sure you wash your hands after using this. Even if you do use your hands like I'm doing, you want to be very careful. So it's certainly gone a lot further than what I expected it to go, that small amount I cut off. Mind you, I aren't really putting a lot. It's just going in the edge in a way on here. Now I'm going to squeeze that because it is going underneath the cork a bit. Get this off this edge of the screwdriver. So basically that's all I'm going to be doing. Making sure that's not going under the edge of the cork too much. And obviously you want to make sure that nothing's getting in the holes where the threads are. It's extremely unlikely that if I'm squeezing it there that it's going to like spread into the holes, but check. Okay, that. Now basically that should take, I might, with what I've got left, I'll probably go around some of the other gaps actually, just using the edge of the screwdriver and pressing in almost like this. I think that's what I'm going to do. I was surprised how far that went. So I might not show you that, but basically it's going to be pretty much the same, where I'm going to chop a bit off. Knead it like mad. I think basically you want to probably only get small amount. That's what I would suggest, small as you can get away with, that you think you're going to use. Because I think it starts going hard pretty quickly, and then it becomes a bit harder to manipulate and like push into any gaps like I'm doing here. That seems to be what's happening. This would have been probably a lot better to put on, say, in the middle and then press the two plates together. To a certain extent I'm going over the top here. Keep that in my hand. Almost hold this screwdriver at a little bit of an angle, pressing that edge in. Oops, getting the cork being a nuisance, having that cork on. Put that cork on far too quick, too early, and knowing in my case it's probably going to have to come off anyway. I've got water on it. It's bumping up a bit, but anyway, I'm basically just going to go around like this, pressing with my fingers and thumb into the gap, pressing with the edge of the screwdriver, wiping off any excess with the damp towel in this case. Have to work reasonably quick because, as I say, I think it starts going a bit firm, shall we say, a bit harder to manipulate quite quick. I mean, that is not too bad there. As you say, you can scrape like a lot of any excess off with the edge of the screwdriver. Any gaps. Yep. How strong this is, I mean, you know, they've always saying it's a miracle sort of putty in this case, or whatever it is. How strong it is in reality, I do not know. I mean, it doesn't come all that cheap, to be honest with you, in my view. About £6. Anyway, I'm just going to go around continuing on like this. So I might as well turn the camera off until I finish. Right. And I'm doing this side first because I want to turn it over and check the other side, because this is almost the side that people are going to be seeing, and it's going to print on a, I'm seeing there's a bit of, it's not sticking to there, it's just like lightly resting on it. Okay, let's check that. Yep. There's a tiny bit of it here. Scrape that off. Right. Basically now, if I close this up, actually, I think those 4 feet I have will go like either side of this, and I'm going to put something heavy on here now. Actually, I've taken away my really heavy thing I wanted to put on. Weigh it all down. So put that into the middle to spread the load. Make sure these 4 things are either side, so it's not resting on the it's not resting on the 4 things, because they're either side of that. Then I'm going to give my hands a very good wash, a good scrub. Okay, so that's going to be left a good hour, and we'll see what's what. Okay, I've left it quite a few hours now. In theory, the interior grab stuff I've put on the middle to a certain extent, the white stuff, will still not be set. 2 days to fully cure, that's my understanding. That would still in theory have a few hours, but here's the edge of this other sort of metal put on. Basically it's mainly around the edges. I tried to push it in. I wish I had some, actually put some more in the centre and probably one in, you know, spread out in like a drop in a few corners, well, parts so to speak, because I think that would be a lot better. Anyway, I'm going to put this on the 3D printer. You see that the cork has flattened a bit now, it's drying out a bit, because I did get this wet and it was bumpy a bit, even though this is stuck on with this silicone glue, silicone rubber stuff, K2. So I thought I'd show you that. I was thinking of putting some of this metal stuff in the holes that I drilled earlier to help stick one surface to the other, or some of the super glue idea. I don't know, I might leave that. I mean, that one's got some of the white stuff under there. I'm going to put this on the 3D printer. Okay, I've fitted it. Now I've put this piece of cardboard which has enamel wire over, which was a type of heat pad I was experimenting with, but I think that'll take too many amps, so I won't be using that. I'm still waiting for a new heat pad to go under this aluminium plate. Notice that this plate does still have the the protective coating on this surface, and actually I'm going to try to zero this out. The bed, it still needs some bit stronger springs to push the balls up, because the threads actually sometimes catch on the holes that are coming through. Also, I'm waiting for some knurl things to go around and be able to adjust the zero from the sides. I probably can grab the nut head, which has a washer on, from the side and adjust it. Because of the bulldog clips I've got, I still can't come all the way left. I probably can't, well, the software is stopping it going all the way to the right. Anyway, I intend to actually do a quick test printing on this protective surface that is on this aluminium coating to see what happens. I'm worried about the heat, obviously, of the hot end hitting this. The heat pad I've got is not wired up or plugged in or anything, so it's going to be cool. I'll zero it out and I'll do a test print and we'll see what happens. So just show you sort of what's around. If you notice some cardboard here, this spool is actually, it's out of balance. It'll turn so much and then it'll turn some more. Now it's not this stand I've made, just out some bits of wood and some pipes. The pipe, let me show you that if I can, actually. Sometimes it gets caught. So basically this is just a shower curtain type pipe, I think it is, a couple of washers, and there's a tube in there, like a plastic tube off a ballpoint pen, so that will roll quite freely. Just some bits of wood, some hot glue on the bottom to level off the wood when I put it onto something. So the spool hooks on there. This moves freely, so it's not like this getting caught. It is actually this spool of filament. It's almost like this spool of filament is lopsided. It's weighted down one side than the other, and this will turn so far and then it will almost stop. Not to cause any problems with the print, I understand, but then it will turn quite a bit because of the weight of it is off, and I don't know why that should be. Anyway, I'll put this back on there, get zeroed out, and then I'll show you it test printing, hopefully. Like as you see, this printing, it took quite a bit to zero this out, but doesn't zero always do that. But you might notice that I do have some strip lighting on here. I don't know how well you might just see the edge of it there, but there's about 3 rows on each side, 2 at the top, rows at the top as well, all one continuous in serial thing. And what I noticed is when this hothead was coming to temperature, that these started flickering, so it's getting a false signal over the power supply that's going to the LEDs, which is coming direct, as good as direct from the ATX I'm using. So something's acting weird there. I'll just move around a bit. So I'm just asking for a cube here, and with it being in black it's going to be hard to tell and see. I'm just going to leave that and see how it finishes off. We'll have to see if it lifts. Being a small cube, this is on a cold bed, there's no heat on it here, remember. Using PLA, I think. Yeah, PLA 1.75, the 3DE version 6 hot end, boarding system of course. I think the Z wobble has been as good as sorted. This is the first print I've really done since doing that. It's a bit hard to tell whether it has been totally sorted. I'll try and do a video of that and compare it with some previous videos. I'll probably speed up this video. Now, how easy is it to get this off here? We'll try, see if it's still pretty warm. It's coming off extremely easily. I didn't really put any pressure on that. So there's sort of the skirt and a bit of a raft. It's come out quite well. There still seems to be quite a lot of bubbles or artifacts on the edges of this. And I think that's a filament itself causing this. I don't know how well you can see that. That's come out very nice. It seems very well, the right directions on all angles in a way. So okay, that's just printing on this aluminium sheet which still has the protective coating on. Now that is just a small object. It can't have been really stuck all that well, to be honest with you. So that would be a worry about printing something bigger, that it's not going to stick very well. A cold bed, no heat whatsoever on this. It's cold to the touch, just aluminium sheets. Okay, enough rabbiting. I'm going to finish off there for now.